Hey, it's Kendall, and this is 90 Second Church. We're in a series called Follow, looking at the life of Jesus in the book of Mark. Today we're in Mark chapter 6, verse 24. Now this is a flashback, the second half of the story we started yesterday. So let me recap. Yesterday, King Herod's daughter danced for him in the entire court. And Herod was so impressed that he made a very foolish promise. He said, "Ask me for anything up to half my kingdom, and I'll give it to you." And that's where we pick up the story in Mark chapter 6, verse 24. The girl hurried to the king and told him, "I want the head of John the Baptist right now on a tray." Then the king deeply regretted what he had said. But because of the vows he had made in front of his guests, he couldn't refuse her. So he immediately sent an executioner to the prison to cut off John's head and bring it to him. What a terrible story. But wait, it gets worse. If you go up a couple of verses to verse 20, it tells us that even though Herod had thrown John in prison, he respected John. He saw John as a good and a holy man, and he actually protected John, and he liked to listen to him. Well, then why in the world would he execute him just because his daughter asks him to? Well, it's pretty simple. Herod made a stupid promise while he was drunk in front of a room full of guests, and his pride wouldn't let him go back on his word. Foolish, foolish king, right? Tricked into something he didn't want to do. I'm so glad we're not like that. But of course, we are exactly like that, aren't we? There's not a one of us who isn't blinded in one way or another by our pride. And if we're not careful, we end up just like Herod, doing the opposite of what we set out to do. So here's the question for you and me today. Where is there pride in your life? And how is it keeping you from doing what you know is right? And are you willing to surrender it to Jesus, to humble yourself before him and live for his purposes instead of your own? We'll talk to you soon.